Howdy folks, welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. I've gotten on to the patch 8.6 test server, and it's not all about the artillery in patch 8.6. Although that obviously is the big news. Let's have a look at the tech tree. Oh, the other big news is that they've done some work on whatever conflicts the NVIDIA graphics drivers were having, and so far my game hasn't crashed in the tech tree once, so fingers crossed, touch wood. Hope that continues. So, yeah, artillery. What's going on here? Well, there is now one type of artillery from Tier 2 all the way up to Tier 10. Don't panic. Just because there is now Tier 10 and 9 artillery does not mean that artillery is even more powerful. That's totally not the case. The T92, which was the American Tier 8 artillery, is now the American Tier 10 artillery. It's as simple as that. It still only has 500 hit points. Actually, I don't know if that's changed. I didn't pay much attention to artillery hit points. Don't expect this to be a massively in-depth artillery review, by the way, guys. It's not going to be. I have played one artillery game, and that was enough for me. But we'll show you what is new. And if you are an artillery player, I definitely encourage you to get onto the test server and try these things out. But here we go. There is the new Tier 10 T92. Look at the stats of these guns. I just want to draw your attention to the accuracy. 0.92. 8-second aiming time. Oh, that makes me happy in my funny places. Rate of fire 1.13 rounds per minute. Oh man. It still does monster damage and has, but that's there is justice in the world. But there's new artillery. Here we go. The M53, M55 at Tier 9. It's got an 8-inch howitzer. That's a big gun. Let's have a look at this thing. 0.84 accuracy. 7-second aiming time. 1.3 rounds per minute. Yeah. What else is new? Well, it looks like what they've done is they've tossed in two new artillery in every tank line. So you've got the M7 Priest. This is weird. Haven't these swapped places? The M7 Priest is now the Tier 3, and the M37 is now the Tier 4. Is that a mistake? Tier 405mm howitzer. No, that looks to be the way things are. Oh, that's gonna throw the cat amongst the pigeons. Sure, have I got that the wrong way round? No, the M37 definitely was the Tier 3, and the Priest was the Tier 4. I don't know if this is a mistake, but I think there's going to be a lot of very angry M7 Priest drivers if that's true. I'm sure they won't see you off. If this is the way things are going to be in 8.6, and you currently have an M7 Priest, they'll probably give you an M37 for free and move your Priest down to Tier 3. That's what they've done in previous patches when they've shuffled things around like this. So if you've looked at that and thought, oh my god, you bastards, Wargaming, what are you doing? Don't panic. All right, they will always you will be compensated if that is what is actually going to happen. M41 at Tier 5. This one's new at Tier 6, the M44. 155mm self-propelled gun. Oof. Let's have a look at the gun, because that's what you're going to want to know about. Two guns. It comes with a stock M1 howitzer, and you can upgrade to the M45 howitzer, and it's no more accurate than any of the others. Only has a 6-second aiming time though, and it actually gets off more than 2 rounds per minute. Hooray! So yeah, 78 penetration, 700 damage on both different types of ammo. high explosive or high explosive anti-tank ammo. Heat ammo has had that crap nerfed out of it, which is nice. Not such good news if you're driving an E100 though. Actually, I must have a look at the E100 and still if it's still using heat as its secondary ammunition. The M12 at tier 7, the M40-43 at tier 8. We've seen the M53-55 at tier 9 and so on and so on. And it's pretty much like this across the board with all the various different artilleries. You see the Germans have got a lot of artillery. The Bison and the Vesper are... See, the Bison's been moved up to tier 3. You've got this new thing here down here, the SPG, whatever. The Mark 6. This tiny little thing. It gets a 105mm gun. You can see the stats for it there. That's your new tier 2 German artillery. Then you have the Vesper and the Bison both sitting here at tier 3. Or you can skip those completely, and if you don't have a single shred of self-respect, you can get to your tier 4 artillery via the Marder 2. Notice the Sturmpanzer 4 is... the Sturmpanzer 2 is now a tier 4 artillery, and there's this new one here as well, the... I don't know what the hell that is. The 4B, we're going to call it, and that gets a choice of 205mm guns. There's the stock one, actually. I was just wondering if that wasn't the same as the French premium tier 4 artillery gun. It looks like, again, it looks like captured French artillery that's been tossed inside an SPG chassis, but there you go. The Vesper can also use this gun. And here's the gun you upgrade to. As for the rest of the German line, yeah, most of the changes in the German line are down here at tier 4 and below. The Grille is now tier 5, the Hummel's tier 6, GW Panther tier 7, the GW Tiger, now they're calling it the GW Tiger P, sits there at, and they've changed the way it looks. It's modelled on the chassis of the Tiger P now instead of the Tiger. So that's sitting there at tier 8. Tier 9. Ah, right, no, that is a new one. GW Tiger P and the GW Tiger. And then at tier 10, the GW 100 or the GW Type E. So the Americans, we've looked at. The French artillery, oh, there's all sorts of stuff. The Foch 155. Oh, wait a minute. Those are tank destroyers. What are you doing? Here we go. The Batchat 155-58 is what the existing Batchat 155 is going to become at tier 10. You've got this thing here, Batchat 155-55. Does it also have a turret? I think it does. That's interesting. So the French have now got 2 turreted artillery. I can't be 100% sure without buying the thing, but it does look like it. The Lorraine 155-51 at tier 8. The Lorraine 155-50 at tier 7. The AMX F3 is now the tier 5. There's an AMX 13-105AM. Sorry, that is the tier 6. The 105AM is at tier 5. AMX 105AM at tier 4. That looks new. Yep, that's a new one. These guns are all going to be very, more or less similar to the tier, or most of the tier 5 artillery guns. And there it is. And the others haven't changed. The British, no new artillery for the British. The Sexton still hasn't made it into the game. And the Chinese obviously don't get anything. What the British do get is a premium heavy tank. Or rather, another premium heavy tank at tier 5. I don't understand why the British needed another premium heavy tank. Okay, well, let's have a look at it. I must say, I don't like this Excelsior very much at all. And I'll tell you why. First of all, it's nothing like any other British heavy tank. This thing is fast. It does 38.6 kilometers per hour. A 600 horsepower engine and a 42-ton tank. It is very, very fast. It feels very quick. The frontal armour is 114 millimeters thick. Bear in mind, this is only tier 5. It's the polar opposite of the TOG. It's very fast. It's well armoured from the front. And its gun is utter garbage. They've put a tank with 114mm of frontal armour that can't penetrate itself. 75mm gun Mark V only has 91mm of penetration. 0.42 accuracy. 2.3 second aiming time. This is supposed to be a British gun. British guns have good accuracy, good aiming time. This is just horrible. The only thing going for that gun is the rate of fire. The penetration is garbage. The damage is... It's a medium tank gun on a heavy tank. They've done it again. And that kind of works on the TOG, because the TOG's just got so much health. It's a big damage sponge and it just spits the damage out. But this thing can't spit the damage out unless you're using a PCR. This is just another device to sell premium ammunition. That's all it's good for, because that gun is completely useless without that, which gives it 144mm of penetration. 91mm of penetration? Seriously? Really? That's bad. I came across another Excelsior while I was driving this, and I bounced every shot off him, and he penetrated me with every single shot, because he was using premium ammo and I wasn't. He was paying to win and I wasn't, so he won because he paid for it. And that's why I utterly despise this tank, because it just seems to me to be a very, very cynical cash grab. Why do we need this? We've got a tier 6 British premium heavy tank. Why do we need a tier 5? I mean, if you're going to stick another British premium heavy in, why have it one tier away from the existing one? If you're going to put one in, make it tier 8. So I just don't see the point of this tank. It's fun to drive, don't get me wrong. It's quick. Very, very well armoured from the front. It feels more like driving a Cromwell than a heavy tank. It really does move that well. The traverse is good, 32 degrees. Turret traverse is good, 36 degrees. Side armour is utter garbage. It's only 31mm at the hull. The turret's not bad, 92 at the sides and rear. I mean, you can see the armour plating on it. Right there on the gun mantlet. It's not really a gun mantlet, it's just a plate of armour at the front of the tank. Turret's good. Hull, only good from the front. Actually, the hull's not bad from the rear either. The rear is 108mm. The sides are paper thin. But this tank just has a gun that is absolutely useless. The gun cannot even penetrate itself from the front. Hell, the gun can't even penetrate itself from the rear. That's how bad the gun on this tank is. This thing is just for mopping up mediums and and you know, tanks lower tier than you. British tier 5 premium, it will cost you 1,500 gold. So yeah, it's cheaper than the TOG. It's less than half the price of the TOG, but it's garbage. So there you go, the Excelsior. It's in the game. That's it, I think. I didn't notice anything else in the tech trees that was new. Russian tech tree, same premiums that we've all seen before. You go to the German tech tree, same premiums that we've all seen before, nothing new there. The American tech tree, same again. The only new things are the artillery. French tech tree, same. I don't even know where the Lafer, the tier 4 artillery's gone. It's just not there anymore. British tech tree, the Excelsior, that's it. And nothing new. Still no premiums for the Chinese. So it's pretty much all about the artillery, the Excelsior, and well, there are several changes to the game mechanics. Not really something you can quantify. They've changed the way accuracy works, if you like. The way your shot deviation is calculated has changed radically. You're going to see far less instances of your shots just wafting off right to the outside edge of the aiming circle. They're going to tend to be centered more. They haven't increased the accuracy Right? People are saying the accuracy of all the guns has increased. That's not actually true. What they've actually done is they've reduced the dispersion. So it effectively amounts to almost the same thing, but there is a slight difference there. Have I noticed it? Not really. I haven't really played enough. I haven't had the opportunity to shoot at things enough. But and I have been using tanks that I don't really know how they perform on the live server in the first place. So I'm totally not the right person to ask whether or not the things feel more accurate. From my limited experience, yeah, well, screw it. I'll show you a game. Let's have a go in the T57. Right, here we go. First thing you're going to notice, things looked very weird. That's because tanks don't appear to be casting a shadow at the moment on the test server. The second thing I noticed was that there was only 4 artillery, and this seemed to be consistent. I was expecting this test server to be just one massive arty party in every single game, but it looks like the maximum number of artillery in a game has been capped at 4. I couldn't see anything in the patch notes to confirm or deny that, but that seems to be the case. So that's good stuff. So, T57 Heavy. Tier 10 game on Sand River. I've installed my mods for this replay. I didn't... There we go. 3090 drivers. Guy's probably... First time he's driven the tank. Isn't aware of the turning circle. It was a bit annoying, but, you know, test server, what are you going to do? Where was I? I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. Oh yeah, yeah. The games are not overrun with artillery, which has been the case on previous test servers. So that was good stuff. Now, oh yes, that's right. When I played this game without any mods. You're watching the replay with mods installed. So there's that. So I didn't have the benefit of the XVM map mod or, you know, any of that good stuff while I was playing. So a 1390's run off over the dunes, and myself and this T57 Heavy, and there's a 215B coming with us. We're heading up to flank around. The rest of the team have run into contact up in the northern end of the map. Let's see what we can see. I'm going to have to get me one of these tanks, by the way. I loved it on the test server when it was introduced. I don't have one myself, but I've had... It's a good machine. Right, 1390. Ooh, we just took a big hit from that T57 Heavy. So he's run off too far ahead, unfortunately. We can't directly help him yet, but hopefully... Well, I don't know how much help he's going to expect to get from artillery either. Oh, there's a 50B up there. Artillery are going to be aiming at the guys that have already been spotted. That one went wide. Didn't wait for it to aim. That one went low. Something new. That one went in. Okay, you can back off. These guys are coming up after me. They might change their mind when that 215B and the other T57 Heavy come up. Yes, this is something new. They call it dynamic aiming. The whole enable vehicle vibration in sniper mode thing is gone. It's normally the first thing that everybody turns off. So I'm not going to reload the time here. No, that was a bit of a wasted opportunity. So I've only actually done 862 damage so far, but that's out of 2 hits. It's not bad. And this looks to be everybody that came this way. And no, I'm not going to cap. But I know there's a Jagdpanzer E100 on that ridge over there. There he is. And I think we just spotted... Oh, the T-95's dead. Good, okay. He was up there, so that's why I was coming down here to get some cover between myself and the tank destroyers on the ridge. Other T57 Heavy's going for it. Alright, let's back him up. Oh, I want to get this ridge line between myself and that young Panzer E100. That's a brave... Yeah, braver T... Oh, there's an E100 over there. He just nuked that T57. Yak Panzer's taken hits now. And he's gone. Oh, Artie. Artie. Come on. E100 is not pointing his gun at me. Oh, yeah. No, he's not. Oh, 2 shots left. Dodgy Andy. There we go. This is the dynamic aiming thing I was talking about. I've played with dynamic aiming on. And I haven't yet played without it. And what it seems to do is you get the whole effect of recoil, but without your gun wandering off the target. So your gun stays pointed at whatever target you're aiming at, while the view jerks up and down as you fire. So that's what dynamic aiming is. That's a new thing in 8.6. Right, I know that E100's coming this way. There he is. Ooh. Ah, missed. Missed. Oh, he bounced. His tracks are gone. Oh, give me a break. Come on. That was pretty bad. Only 1 effective shot out of 4. T92 spotted. And there's an IS-7 up there as well. Looks like they're coming back this way. And reloaded. Oh, hello. He bounced. Bingo. I'll set him on fire. Looked like he took a hit from artillery as well. And there's another 7. He's missed. Oh, 3 shots just for you. And let's make sure it goes in. That'll do. And back up. Oh, I actually took some damage there. One other thing that's changed in 8.6 is the random nature of damage rolls. I can't tell you the number of times, particularly on my T130 with a 155mm gun, which is supposed to do 750 average damage. I think every time I pulled the trigger on that gun, it's hit and penetrated and done damage. It's done below the average damage roll in all but 2 occasions. You're going to notice that, for example, when you're firing your BL-10 with 750 average damage and you get a 640 damage roll, that's going to happen less. I think the variation is, I think they said 5%. It basically means that you're going to see stupidly low damage rolls less often, but you're also going to see stupidly high damage rolls less often. And they're just trying, they seem to be just trying, with that and the way that they've changed the way shot dispersion works, it seems as if they're trying to remove the old RNG element of the game. And probably to make the game more attractive for competitive play, for esports. Right, well, that wasn't bad. I haven't played the T50, obviously I don't have a T57 myself on the live server. I played it on the test server when it was introduced and really liked it. And yeah, I still like it. I'm probably going to have to get myself one of these things. But the new post-battle results screen, and at first glance it doesn't look too different to the existing post-battle results screen, but where the differences are is in the mouse overs. So you can see enemy tanks that you damaged, friendly tanks that damaged themselves by driving into me, AMX-50B, E100, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so there we go. There's the difference. Assistance in destroying. So you're going to see 2 things there, and these pop-ups, these mouse over pop-up windows, are showing a lot more detail than they did previously. So you can see on that E100, while I was spotting him, 1800 and 16 damage done to him. So that's nice. It tells you exactly. I mean, it did this anyway, but it also tells you damage done upon your shooting the track. Now that's new, and this is a new mechanic. For those really, really frustrating times when you're in your T30 with your big 155mm gun and you blat a shot right into the side of a tank, and all it does is blow his bloody tracks off, and you're sitting there fuming, waiting 15, 16 seconds to reload your gun, and by the time it's reloaded, somebody else has killed him. Yeah, it's happened to all of us. And it's going to continue happening, but you're going to get something out of it from now on. It's going to work exactly the same way spotting damage worked. While a tank is immobilized because its tracks have been blown off, every point of damage done to that tank, just like spotting damage, you will get half of the credits and XP that everybody else gets for inflicting damage on a tank that you have immobilized by blowing off their tracks. And that's what that second thing down there is. In this case, it was 0 damage upon my blowing his tracks off, because I didn't blow his tracks off. Or while I had blown his tracks off, nobody shot him. So you can see there, yeah, that's pretty good. 1800 damage done to that E100 after I'd spotted him. To the IS-7, 500, T57 Heavy, 166, and 226 to the Jagdpanzer E100. But the next one is just as good. The number of crits inflicted, and it tells you exactly what critical damage you did. So you can see to that AMX-50B, I damaged his tracks. Well, I didn't just damage them, I knocked his tracks out, and I knocked out his fuel tank. If you look at the E100, knocked out his engine, destroyed his tracks, and so on and so on. And then this hasn't changed. But what it does do is it tells you the number of penetrating hits. Which seems kind of redundant, because that little number there also tells you the number of penetrating hits, but yeah, you can never have too much information. Anything new here? Enemy destroyed. Enemy vehicle destroyed by fire. Ah, that's interesting. It didn't tell you that before. Obviously, I hit that E100, left him very low on health, but my last shot knocked out his engine, set him on fire, and it actually tells you there, enemy vehicle destroyed by fire. So that's useful. If you go to the team score, oh bloody hell! Apparently that was a very good game. Didn't feel that good. I donked quite a few shots. That was oh well. A good game's a good game. There we go. Most damage done, and the most XP earned. Oh, go me. Yes. Anyway, no real changes here on the team score pages, unless let's have a look. No. Nah, no massive changes there. We get to the detailed report. Here we go. Hits received. This is good. 3 hits received, 1 penetrating hit, 2 bouncers. But it also tells you how many splash damage hits you took. So that's useful for evaluating how good you were at dodging artillery fire, for example. And the same in shots fired. So again, if you're playing artillery, that previously I think was HE. So it's just clarifying exactly what's going on with the shots fired and taken. Potential damage received is the same. I think everything else seems to be more or less the same. Yeah. But now this is surprising. And this was actually in the patch notes, but this is a standard account. It's not premium. Here on the test server, you can tell by the state of the garage. And that was a profit. That just doesn't happen in tier 10 games. Certainly not on a standard account. You hemorrhage money. Mind you, I didn't take that much damage. How much damage did I take? Oh, it doesn't actually say. Okay, but I didn't take a lot, you can tell. Repairs only cost me 5,800 credits. What they've done is they've increased the profitability of tier 10 tanks, like the T57 Heavy, by 10%. So you're going to find that even without... I mean, you have to have a good game to run a profit on a standard account. But you don't have to have that good a game. I mean, that wasn't great. Well, it wasn't bad, actually. 3,300 damage is all right. It's, you know, it's not terrible. So But that wasn't a fantastic game by any stretch of the imagination, and I still made a 20,000 credit profit. So your tier 10s are not going to be such a drain on your pocket as they currently are. So that's good. Obviously, if that had been a premium account, that would have been, I would have coined it in 41,000 credits. XP as well, 1800 XP on a standard account, would have been almost 3000 XP on a premium account. So there's that. Quick look at the T57 Heavy itself. I mean, I like this tank. I'm nowhere near getting one myself, and I probably really should get my finger out and start grinding up that American line to get this thing. I've got almost all of the other Americans. I don't have one of these myself. I had played it on the test server when it was introduced, and I really, really liked it. And it's been nerfed. It's been nerfed in patch 8.6. Initially, things may change before this thing goes live. It's getting nerfed in one way or another. What they've done at the moment is they've reduced the penetration of the gun. That's the one thing I have noticed. It's down to 258 penetration. I think it used to be 269. It was 260 something. The rate of fire. The thing about this gun is it's a 4-shot autoloader, but it fires those shots so much faster than, for example, the AMX-50B. And it reloads the gun faster than the AMX-50B, or it certainly used to. Now, it's kind of difficult to tell at the moment, because it says there, rate of fire 7.74. But, well, if you go to the World of Tanks Tankopedia and you look up that gun, it tells you rate of fire something like 2.4 rounds per minute. Something is badly wrong there. So in the edit of this video, I'm going to go to my live World of Tanks account and have a look at the rate of fire of that gun, and it will be popping up on screen right now just to tell you whether or not it has actually changed. What definitely has changed is the penetration. They've lowered the penetration of this thing's gun, and the T57 Heavy was crying out for a nerf. If you go to noobmeter.com and you look at the EU server stats of the T57 Heavy, I think this thing has a global win rate of 60%. It's just too good. Well, they are nerfing it in one way or another, but you know, I haven't had problems driving this tank at all. It's still great. If you were great in the T57 Heavy prior to 8.6, don't worry. You're going to be great after 2.6. So because I don't really, there's something seriously wrong with the Tankopedia if it's saying this gun has a 2.4 round per minute rate of fire. So on screen, as I've been talking, I will have put up the differences between the T57 as it is here and the T57 as it is on the live server. So you'll see the changes. But trust me, it doesn't matter. This is still a great tank. Very, very, very dangerous machine. So there you go, patch 8.6 test server. It's mostly about the new artillery and the changes to artillery. There have been other changes to the way artillery works that I completely forgot to mention in the course of this roundup. The travel time, if you like, of artillery shells has been increased by a very large margin. I think it's something like 20 to 30% for regular artillery guns, and anything up to 50% for short-barreled howitzer-style artillery guns. So artillery players have got a lot of relearning of how to play the game to do. If I lose all self-respect, I might come back to the 8.6 test server and have a go with some artillery myself. We shall see how that goes. In the meantime, folks, take care on that battlefield, and I'll catch you next time.